Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a book that explores some of the toughest questions about life, meaning, and existence. The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. This is one of those books that really makes you think. It's not your typical self-help guide or motivational read. Instead, it is a powerful exploration of absurdism where Camus challenges us to find a meaning in a world that seems to lack any inherent purpose. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you will have a deeper understanding of what it means to live authentically in a seemingly meaningless world. Let's start with the core idea of the book. Let's start with the core idea of the book, the absurd. Camus begins by asking a simple but profound question. How do we how do we find meaning of in life when there is no clear answer, no universal truth? Camus uses the myth of Sisyphus, a character from Greek mythology, as a metaphor for this very struggle. In the myth, Sisyphus is condemned to push a boulder up a mountain, only for it to roll back down every time he reaches the top. It is an endless, futile task, and yet campus it is an endless futile task, and yet Camus argues that Sisyphus is the ultimate symbol of human existence. Why? Because much like Sisyphus, we are all faced with the absurd of life. We search for meaning, but the meaning often seems elusive. Yet, Camus suggests that we can still choose to live with purpose, even in the face of absurdity. Now, Camus doesn't sugarcoat things. The reality of life is absurd because we live in a world that does not offer clear answers to the big questions like why we are here or what our purpose is. This absurdity comes from the tension between our desire for meaning and the universe's indifference to our search. Camus refers to this as the absurd condition, and it is uncomfortable. We're constantly searching for something that does not seem to exist. But here is the twist. Camus does not suggest that we give up in despair. In fact, he argues that the recognition of the absurd is a liberating moment. So, what do we do with this absurdity? So, so what do we do with this absurdity? Camus suggests that we must revolt against it. Instead of succumbing to despair, we should continue to search for meaning in life, even if we know it might never be fully realized. This revolt doesn't mean rejecting life, it means fully embracing it with all its contradictions and uncertainties. By accepting the absurdity of life, we are freed from the need to find grand, eternal meanings. We can live fully, appreciating the moments we have, the experiences we gain, and the relationship we build. Here is where it gets really interesting. Camus does not view Sisyphus as a tragic figure. In fact, he believes that Sisyphus embodies the perfect absurd hero. Even though his task is pointless and never-ending, Sisyphus finds meaning in the struggle itself. As Camus puts it, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. This is because Sisyphus knows that the task has no ultimate end, but in his persistence, he transcends the absurdity. In the same way, we can find meaning in our lives by embracing the struggle, the search, the journey, even when we know there is no final answer. The key is to live fully and authentically in the present moment. Now, Camus does not provide us with a simple solution for how to live a meaningful life, but he does offer a radical perspective. Instead of seeking an ultimate meaning, we can create our own meaning through our actions, choices, and relationships. Life does not give us purpose, but that does not mean we can't give life purpose by how we live it. The myth of Sisyphus is a remember that it is not about finding some grand ultimate meaning. It is about living with passion, embracing the present, and continuing to push our boulders, even when the mountain feels impossible high. So, what is the takeaway from the myth of Sisyphus? Camus teaches us that life is inherently absurd, but that does not mean we can't live it meaningfully. By embracing the struggle, by choosing to continue despite to futility of it all, we can create our own purpose. The question is not whether life has a predetermined meaning. It is about how we choose to live, how we face the absurdity, and journey in the how we find joy in the journey. If this video made you think a little deeper, hit that like button, subscribe for more thought-provoking book summaries, and share this with someone who might be wrestling with life's big questions. Until next time, remember, life may not have a grand meaning. Until next time, remember, life may not have a grand meaning, but the meaning you create is all that matters. Embrace the absurdity, live authentically, and find joy in the journey.